Tesla's upcoming Hardware 4.0 Autopilot automated driving technology in the European Model S and Model X has been approved by regulators. In this video, we will be discussing Tesla's mind-blowing updates. If you don't want to miss any of these details, keep watching the video. New Full Self-Driving Feature, or FSD. The first two spots plainly suggest the new Full Self-Driving, or FSD computer, while the others imply some exciting improvements, such as introducing a new generation of inverters, new branding for the rear of the vehicle, and revised top speeds for the two vehicles. Specifically, the Model X and Model S will have a top speed of 250 km per hour or 155 miles per hour, while the Model X Plaid will have a top speed of 262 km per hour or 163 miles per hour, and the Model S Plaid will have an average top speed of 280 km per hour or 174 miles per hour. Nonetheless, the Model S Plaid can be 322 km per hour or 200 miles per hour with the optional carbon ceramic brake system. In other words, the Model S Plaid standard top speed has decreased from 300 km per hour or 186 miles per hour to 280 km per hour or 174 miles per hour. Cybertruck update. Elon Musk announced in January 2023 that the Cybertruck, which would go into limited production in the summer of 2023, would be the first vehicle to have the new, more capable Hardware 4.0, also known as a complete self-driving computer too. Nevertheless, recent European filings suggest that the new computer will be included in future Model S and Model X updates. The new hardware. The news and rumors about Tesla's upcoming FSD Hardware 4.0 are getting hotter. We finally get our first look at Tesla's version 4.0 FSD hardware thanks to Green the Only. In addition to a faster computer and better cameras, the new hardware will have HD radar, more cameras, and different places for the cameras. The cameras. Tesla has been believed to deploy updated camera sensors with higher resolution for some time. Last year, we noted that these new cameras are anticipated to incorporate LED flicker mitigation, which will facilitate the reading of digital signage. The current resolution of Tesla's cameras is 1.2 megapixels, and while we have yet to determine for sure what the new resolution will be, numerous rumors point to 5 megapixel sensors. According to one of our sources, while the higher resolution will be helpful in certain situations, it will not be crucial because it comes with some drawbacks, such as increased noise and the need for more processing power. Nonetheless, it will be effective in some situations, and Tesla may be judicious about when it employs the higher resolution. In addition to providing a superior image, the new cameras will help non-FSD functionality such as Sentry Mode. However, the enhanced resolution of the new cameras represents only a small portion of the future camera modifications. The camera placement. The hardware version 4.0 of Tesla features 12 camera connectors, with one designated as a spare. Current Teslas are equipped with a total of 9 cameras. 3 are forward-facing and mounted beneath the windshield, 2 are mounted on the fenders, 2 are mounted on the B-pillars, 1 is positioned in the back, and 1 is a cabin camera. A leak from the previous month stated that Tesla intends to lower the number of front-facing cameras from 3 to 2. This is likely owing to higher resolution cameras, eliminating the need for a third telephoto lens. There have been confirmed occurrences of Tesla vehicles having a blind spot when exiting a secondary route obstructed by houses or other obstructions. Since these cameras would be situated toward the front of the car, they would provide eyesight superior to that of a human driver in specific scenarios. According to the names of the camera ports, Tesla may be moving some of its cameras. The forward-facing B-pillar cameras could be relocated to the vehicle's fenders to improve visibility. The processing power. Formerly, it was believed that version 4.0's hardware would be 2 to 4 times as fast as version 3.0's. Without a doubt, some of this energy will be used to process the additional camera feeds and pixels provided by the extra cameras. However, as hardware 3.0 reaches its processing limit, more computer power will be required. According to Green, the new chips have a maximum speed of 2.35 GHz and 20 20 cores, increasing over the 12 cores in the previous gear. Green also commented on the bump from 2 to 3 trip cores and the maximum frequency of 2.2 GHz. Green claims the new hardware is much less of an upgrade than many had hoped, since its performance cannot be gauged by metrics like core count and clock speed. The same speed gain between hardware versions 2 and 4 is unknown, although it appears to be on the lower end of the 2 to 4 times jump we projected. Redundancy. When Tesla debuted hardware version 3.0, it was also designed for redundancy in an emergency. Each board contains 2 identical nodes. Both nodes could calculate the same data and compare their outputs, allowing the vehicle to determine if a problem existed. If a node were to fail, the car might continue to drive until a safe stop could be made. However, when Tesla's processing demands increased, redundancy on hardware 3.0 was eliminated so that Tesla could utilize the computing capacity of both nodes. With hardware 4.0, Tesla has once again incorporated redundancy not only in terms of chips and computing but also in terms of power. Power consumption. Given that the chips in hardware 4 are more potent, it is not surprising that they require more energy. According to Green, the most significant power usage of hardware 3 was about 100 watts, the same as hardware 2.5. Because hardware 3 had to be retrofittable, it was constructed with the same power constraints as hardware 2.5. However, hardware 4.0 was not subject to the same design constraints because it would not be retrofitted. We do not know the maximum processing power of hardware 4 based on the information that has been given, but it will supposedly idle at 80 watts, which is roughly double the idle capacity of hardware 3. Available models. Tesla is now manufacturing Model S and Model X automobiles with hardware 4.0, but Tesla is holding on to them. They have not yet been shipped. On March, Tesla will host an Investor Day event where they may disclose hardware 4.0, maybe with an unexpected declaration that all current vehicles incorporate hardware 4.0. The Model 3 and Model Y production lines in China are currently halted for retooling, which could be related to hardware 4. It is unclear whether the Model 3 and Model Y are being made using the new hardware. And that completes our video for today. We hope you enjoyed the latest Tesla updates. Which of them has blown your mind? Tell us in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Tech Bros for more content such as this.